when it comes to the Black queer experience, I feel like it can be a bit of it can be a bit of a mixed bag depending on where you're coming out at, because I feel like there's such a split experience within Black queer culture where you have some folks, many of us, who were bullied uh coming up, growing up in Black neighborhoods, with Black people that we grew up with, ribbing each other and doing everything. But if you was the gay one, or if you was a feminine one, or this or trans or anything,
Hmm.
there was bullying. There was a lot of things that many of us had to deal with.
Right.
But some of us then left these homes into other Black queer spaces, whereas, when I left my hometown in Racine, Wisconsin, and went into
Hmm.
Chicago, where the street was lined with rainbows, and that was going to be the place, baby,
Hmm.
it was all white.
Hey,
And it was the white people that controlled the clubs, the type of music that was played in the clubs, the girls that were
yeah,
getting paid to work at the clubs, like
yeah.
all the different things. And what I end up seeing, and what I experienced also early on, I remember doing drag around a bunch of white queens in like Rochester, New York early on,
Ah,
when I first was coming out,
uh-huh,
and like Club Marcellas and all that up there. And
uh-huh,
yes, and
I
I
bet,
mean Pandora Box, Darien Lake, like
uh-huh.
all them girls was up there, right? What I realized very quickly is that the white queens do not care if you are ashy. They do not care if you're dusty. They do not care if you don't have your stuff together, because then that means you are continuing to be no competition for them.
Hmm.
So it wasn't until I got around other Black queens and my drag mother, Tracy Ross, who was like, girl, you're not gonna walk out the house like that, or you gonna pull this on, girl, you need to put on some more makeup. Like,
Hmm.
girls, that, because when you're young, you think, you just put on a little sprinkle or something and then you good
And
to
you
go,
think you
because you
bad, you don't you're the best one in the spot, you know?
right, you don't need nothing, right? But
Right.
you learn to do all those things. So, but I feel like, unfortunately, when I look at some of our Black folks in community, I can see that they have not benefited from knowing the acceptance of Black culture. Like, not
Definitely.
just Black queer folks, but other Black people who don't give a damn if you're gay or this or whatever. And so I see this kind of internalized
Mm.
anti-Blackness. How did you not run into the fetishization of Blackness in white LGBTQ spaces and all these other things?
Definitely. And again, I came out early. So when I was out, we were taking over the white space, which is the West Village. We were going out there for many and many hours. The cops were getting complaints from the residents in the areas because, we were in a white area in Manhattan trying to live our lives and be comfortable. We would take over the streets, you know, shout out to those who was working the streets and working the blocks when the time was to come, but that was their way for them to, to get their income.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that has existed because in ballroom, which we face too, because again, we occupy these other spaces and try to make it our own, or we'll try to, exist in this space where we could just be ourselves. So I usually say this is what happens in this the ballroom scene right now. This is why I love the fact that we've grown from the space that we were in to where we at right
Yes.
now. Because we used
Yes.
to look at the ideology of whiteness as being something as the
Yes.
the ultimate top and the base. And as I see right now, please forgive me if this is too much.